Ready?
I think that's a moose.
Do it.
Nice. Woo!
We are going to do a 4-day trip. We're heading up the 400 and we're heading up to Canoe Lake. Weather forecast is good. The traffic is good. And it's early June, so we're hoping that Canoe Lake won't be too busy at this time of the summer. We're starting at Canoe Lake.
We will be doing Burnt Island Lake Loop from Canoe Lake, Joe Lake, Burnt Island Lake, Thomson Lake, back to Canoe Lake. 3 nights, 4 days.
Approaching our first portage of the trip. See if I still have the muscles to do this. First portage ahead. We arrived. Our first portage, Canoe Lake to Joe. And we're going to carry all this stuff over the portage. So I wear my hiking boots on the portages. Water shoes just don't work for me because I don't have the ankle support. So this means that at the beginning of every portage, I put my boots and my socks on and I do the portage, and then at the end, I take them back off so I can get in the canoe, and I'm just more comfortable barefoot in a canoe. So these are one of the things that I do that takes a little bit of time, but means I can do it. Looking for the thunderbox.
It's always fun trying to find the thunderbox.
Mm-hmm. There it is. So, update on our adventures today. Successfully did the portage, paddled across Little Joe to the East Arm, and we found a site, pretty decent site, which is great. We discovered at the end of the portage that the yoke on the canoe is wiggly, and actually a little piece of wood fell off and exposed the screw. So we're going to have to be very careful with the yoke for the rest of the trip. We're going to have to TP the canoe on and off, which will be fine. One thing we discovered on our site is there was fresh, clean rope hanging from a tree with a pulley system all set up to hang our bear barrel. Since it was there, we straightened it out and hung our bear barrel with it. So we're going to go to bed, get up early. Our plans tomorrow are to paddle and portage into Burnt Island Lake, which is a big lake with lots and lots and lots of sites. So we'll have to find one that suits our fancy. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
So the first trick is that you tie your knots with a slip knot to make it easy to undo in the morning. So we just finished having breakfast, and this is our view. So far, this is my favorite chair. You're almost as high off the ground as you would be with a regular chair, which is really nice. And it has that awesome head neck rest at the back. And they're not too heavy. We got them at Costco.
Algonquin is just like consistently beautiful. This is our latest challenge. The seat broke, the back part here broke. So we're gonna have to do the rest of the trip like this. This is a split here. Lost Joe. Baby Joe. We're going to Baby Joe. Bugs aren't too bad. They actually were worse at the starting of the portage than on the actual portage. They're not that bad at all. Getting a little low on water. So we're going to filter en route, which is the first time we've done that. And I'm really looking forward to lunch because I'm hungry. Those of you who know me, I'm hungry all the time. Newsflash, I'm even hungrier now than I used to be. So yeah, we're having tuna sandwiches with the last of our fresh lettuce, which will be really good. So I'm really looking forward to that. Talking about it is just making me want to eat it already. 5,000 steps. No, that's not gonna work.
We were greeted by beautiful butterflies.
Because of the distance, we can actually see the smoke now.
It's called Burnt Island Lake, and we're seeing smoke.
A loon came to fish next to us.
The air had a lingering smell of smoke, and each day there was more and more smoky smog erasing the blue sky and clouding the sun. Going into this trip, there were wildfires happening in Alberta, and we suspected them as the origin of the smoke we could see. Little did we know, the smoke was from fire much closer than Alberta. And by the third day of our trip, on June 5th, there were 150 active wildfires in Quebec. When we returned from our trip, we learned that Algonquin Park had some of the worst air quality at that time. From June 1st to June 25th, more land burned in southern Quebec than in the previous 20 years combined. Extreme weather, record high temperatures, and dry conditions contributed to the severity of the fire season.
On this campsite, we found a fallen tree broken in two.
We are departing our site on Burnt Island Lake. And today's the big day when we do our longest ever portage. It's actually 2 portages that are measured separately, but it's really one long walk. So the first 200 meters is what we did yesterday. And then we're doing 1,140 meters into Lost Doe? Little Doe? Something Doe Lake, which will then take us into Thomson. And I don't know if you can tell, but we're once again having hazy skies, hazy air. The smog and the air pollution has made it all the way to here. And you can't tell in the short distance, but when you're looking up in a far distance, everything just looks a little bit foggy. And that's what it's from. I really like my new top that I'm wearing. It is by far my favorite, best canoeing top I've ever had. It's soft and stretchy, and it covers the backs of my hands, but I can still paddle even though I've got my thumbs in the loops. And it has a really nice loose hood, and it doesn't scratch or itch, and it stretches in every direction I need it to, and it's loose. And I'm flight testing it on this trip. They must be so used to seeing canoeists. This is when there were those, that pair of
Yes. Yeah. The teenagers.
2 teenagers who were blaring music
Yeah.
and running with their
across,
stuff.
It's also when we encountered other people who were like, "Is it buggy in there?" And we're like fully decked out, and we're like, "Yes." Yeah.
They were going in from the other.
They were going to burn.
Right. I just feel really strong and proud of myself. Balancing a canoe on your head, it's pretty impressive. It feels great. I always have the challenge of the yoke digging into sort of where my neck meets my shoulders, and I have to play around with lifting one side of the canoe to let the blood rush through, and then lifting the other side. And taking breaks. Let's do it. But I love it. I really like carrying the canoe. I like carrying packs too, because for a different feel. But again, as you know, like I'm very picky about my packs and making sure that I'm carrying as much of the weight on my hips as I can. And oh, that's pollen.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what is that beige thing. I was really, really proud of myself. This was the first trip that we had the pads, the shoulder pads. That, especially with my hiking boots, I feel like I can balance really well with the canoe. And because it's so balanced, it makes it really easy to walk around things and balance. Yay! 1,400 meters! Woohoo! It's infamous wrap sandwich time. We're stopping here for lunch, and it's windy, which is really nice. It is warm and buggy, so it's a great break from the heat and the bugs. Yeah, I'm excited about food on camping trips.
Time to filter more water.
I think that's a moose crossing the water there. Well, that was exciting. Just saw our first moose of the trip. Didn't seem too concerned about us, so we got to observe it for a long time. And then we just crossed the Beaver Dam behind me. And just after we got over the dam, the moose disappeared. Now we are paddling into Thomson Lake for our final night of our 3-night, 4-day canoe trip. No more portages after this. And a dessert of dark chocolate mousse.
This we went around and then decided not to because it was too windy. And there was a campsite that we stopped at and you didn't like it. So then we went back down to this one.
Which is a great campsite. Holes from the moles. I am making dinner. For dinner we are having pad thai. As you can see, it's a little bit buggy. But we have a really nice breeze blowing on the other side of the island, so we'll be able to eat in relative comfort. This is the last night of our trip. We are on Thomson Lake. It's beautiful. You can see why he liked this lake. We're on an island, and we are very happy because it's very breezy, because there's a lot of bugs. And we're about to have dinner, pad thai for dinner. And tomorrow we paddle all the way back to Canoe Lake, and that will be the end of our trip. That's the sun. You can really see the difference in the air quality. All right. More gray skies.
We are heading back to the Beaver Dam where we saw the moose.
Okay. We're heading towards the Beaver Dam. And there's a little cut, little place where the water is flowing over the dam, and we're gonna try and just go right over it. Do you want me to push off?
Yep, let's try first paddle.
Oh, paddle. Nice. Woo! Okay, success. Between the Beaver Dam and this Portage, we travel through a series of lakes that are technically the Oxtongue River. Last portage of the trip. We just flew down from Thomson Lake with the wind at our backs very quickly. And we are portaging into Canoe Lake. So we are in the final stretch. We've just entered Canoe Lake. And we were here 4 days ago. And we are almost done. We finished our last portage and we're paddling the last stretches of Canoe Lake, and our trip will soon be over. It's been a really good trip. We got really great weather. We've had the wind at our back all day today, which is just mean we've been flying down on our way out, and the air quality today is worse than it has been the last few days, so we're we're out of touch with the news, but we'll be checking to see if there's something happening that's causing this really hazy air quality. So we just rounded the corner into the wider part of Canoe Lake, and you can really see the air quality if you look into the distance. It looks like a very misty morning, but it's actually almost high noon. We actually had a very exciting ride. Wakes were high and the wind was strong, and we got a sense of how dangerous a lake it can be when the wind whips up. And we are approaching Canoe Lake Put-in.
We finally arrived, finishing the loop.
Oops, I lost the thing. The screen went dead.
It's still recording.
It's still recording, it's just not showing on the screen.
Yeah,
Oh.
press the button.
What?
Press the button.
Press the button and start again. Beaver Dam behind me. And just after we got over the dam, the moose disappeared. As quickly as it came. Do you think it can really record you from back there?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Washing my hands, put in my contact lenses. Ready crisp bacon. Ready in 30 seconds.